Jesus Christ.
All right. Everybody come on in, pull up a chair, and pop a squat. It's the old dirty cupcake. Happy Halloween, everybody. That's right, we made it to the end of the line. It's my final movie in my 31 days of Halloween horror movie recommendations. And this movie that I'm going to recommend today, it's a very special film because I saw this movie when I was around 7 years old. I snuck out of my bedroom and I was hiding behind the couch watching this as my dad was watching it on HBO maybe in 1990, 1991, sometime in that ballpark. And my mom knew I had snuck out, knew I was watching whatever my dad was watching. Didn't bother to stop me, didn't bother to tell me to take my ass back to bed. They just let me be traumatized very early on. This movie was fully capable of doing that in 1990 to a 7-year-old mind. And the movie that I'm going to recommend today, without any further ado, if you could not tell by the opening, from 1973, based on a novel and a screenplay by the amazing William Peter Blatty, and directed by William Friedkin, it's The Exorcist. This movie is a masterpiece. This is a perfect demonic possession horror movie. This is a perfect horror film. And it wasn't even intended to be a horror film. It was meant to be a film about losing your faith, questioning your faith, questioning and dealing with the depression that comes with losing your faith, all while battling things and dealing with things that in many ways can confirm your faith and cause that battle to be even more intense. And in this film, I want you to put aside your belief or disbelief in whatever deity you choose and pretend for just these 2 hours that you're Catholic. Pretend that you are Ellen Burstyn and your daughter is possessed and you don't know what to do. So you have doctors run all these tests on her. And when you hear about stories about people getting up and walking out of the theater, it was because of the test scenes that were being done on Reagan. It was way too much for a lot of people in 1973. They couldn't handle it. This movie was the Antichrist, the devil incarnate to people then, okay? This movie was earth-shattering when it came out. This movie changed the landscape of horror far before most of the other movies that I've recommended this month have. This movie set the bar for demonic possession films so high that only stuff like Hereditary gets even remotely close. It made such a splash that it spawned so many copycats, spoofs like Devil with the Blue Dress. I saw this movie at a very young age, around 7 or so. The scene that I was hiding behind the couch was the crucifix scene where she is stabbing herself in her vagina.
No, 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 hell no, 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 I refuse, no.
Jesus Christ, that movie. This movie was so ahead of its time that it really shook people to their core, and with good cause. And when you watch this movie, again, suspend your disbelief and just ride this wave of battling good and evil and just being carried away into this universe. Because in this film, we follow Linda Blair, who plays Reagan. And her mother, Chris McNeil, played by Ellen Burstyn, they have a very brief moment on screen where Reagan isn't possessed, and they do enough to make you realize they have a wonderful bond as mother and daughter. So it's even more traumatizing and horrifying when Reagan becomes possessed. Now, from the very opening of this film, you know that there's going to be an ultimate battle of good versus evil, because we pick up in the beginning with Father Marin, played by Max von Sydow. He's in Iraq, in an area where some archaeology is being done, and he finds a statue of Pazuzu. Pazuzu is a demon, and while this demon is not named in this film, we get its iteration and its manifestation as Captain Howdy, played by the amazing Eileen Dietz. She did the face, and she deserves a lot of credit for how eerie she was in this film, too. Father Merrin, while in Iraq, after discovering this statue, realizes where he is and what he is about to have to go up against. And you get this amazing scene where Father Merrin is standing across from this big statue of Pazuzu, and you know that it's going to boil down to this final battle of demonic forces and the exorcists, or evil versus good. Who will triumph? What will happen? And you also have Jason Miller playing Father Karras. He's battling his own falling away from his faith because his mother is dying and he feels like he is abandoning her when he should be taking care of her. And once she dies, he really goes off the deep end with his loss of faith. But all the while that he's doing this, and all the while that he's dealing with this, he and Father Merrin go to Chris McNeil's house to see what's going on with this young girl named Reagan. And when they enter the room, the bed starts shaking, and they know instantly that they're dealing with something that isn't of this world. And the further this movie progresses, there's a whole lot of gore, there's a whole lot of mutilation, there's a whole lot of vulgarity, and it's absolutely incredible, and it's done in such a way that you're not repulsed so much, but you're just drawn into watching this family suffer, and you feel for them because you're watching these priests do everything they can to try to save this girl, and they can't, because Pazuzu knows their weaknesses, knows how to play off of them. Pazuzu knows how to fuck with Chris McNeil, knows how to utilize Father Merrin's weaknesses against him, and it certainly knows how to use Father Karras' weaknesses against him. Uses his mother against him on several levels. Makes his battle with his loss of faith so much more intense in this film. And you start to realize as the film goes on that the battle isn't so much between Father Lancaster Merrin and Pazuzu as it is between Father Karras, his loss of faith, and Pazuzu taunting him over his loss of faith and what he may have to do and what may have to come from him battling this demonic entity that has completely taken over Reagan. And I don't want to spoil the rest of this movie. I want you to watch it. I want you to suspend your disbelief and just have a really good fucking time. Like I said, it's not the scariest movie by modern standards at all. But to me, it's one of the greatest it's the greatest horror film ever made. It's the greatest horror film ever made. Nothing has beaten it yet. Nothing has toppled it from its throne yet. And I don't really foresee anything doing that for me because this movie had such an impact on me. And if you want to watch Halloween today, I get it because it's Halloween. But like I said, I want to recommend this one because it's such a heavy hitter. It changed and paved the way for demonic horror films going forward. And not all of them have been good. Not all of them have even been, like, worth mentioning. But you have some that really try to reach that bar set. You know, you got Hereditary. You got The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Some of those are pretty good. Some of those are like 8s, 9.5s. They're just phenomenal films. But The Exorcist really set the tone and the bar for scaring people with the demonic possession theme. With that being said, folks, y'all have a wonderful Halloween, and y'all go enjoy this movie for me, okay? And just soak in all the religious horror that comes with it. I'll probably be back with more movie recommendations as the year goes on. I kind of like doing these. I've had a lot of fun, even if there ain't that many people watching them. I'm still having fun, and I hope y'all are too. And I hope y'all have enjoyed the movies that I've recommended. With that being said, y'all have a wonderful Halloween, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.